This is a video to demonstrate the GuitarPico. It is a multi-effects pedal I designed. It is made from very simple components to be designed to be assembled yourself. So what it has on it is it has the Raspberry Pi Pico itself. It has a OLED display on it, and you interact with it with these buttons here, for example, and you can change the display. It has an input, either wired input or jack input for the guitar, and it has one output to go to your amplifier. In this case, the guitar is a Epiphone ES335 inspired by Gibson, and the output is a small Fender practice amp, 20 watts. So these two knobs here, this controls the gain of the input and this controls the gain of the output. There's these four potentiometers here on the front of the device, and what those are for is for the various effects on this. You can assign those various effects to be controlled by these four potentiometers. And then these two jacks on the side are for putting in expression pedals, so you can control the effects with your foot. Now, there's also a VGA output on this side. I intend to make this so that you can also have neat graphics going on while you're playing as well. So it's going to be something kind of unique and different about this pedal, is the graphical output as you play. As for the chips it uses, besides the Raspberry Pi Pico itself, it has two op-amp chips, in this case LM358s, but you can put other ones in that are compatible, and it has a CD4051 multiplexer to read all these analog inputs. So all of these effects are processed in real time, and so are very fast. So as an example, right now I have it not doing any effects at all. So for example, if I play this D, so this is on the neck pickup, turned up to 10. This would be the bridge pickup. Okay, so to establish that, so how this guitar pedal works is it allows you to select one or more guitar effects to go at the same time. And so what we do here is so the left and right button here, and this is the up and down button here, and then there's the enter here. So if we hit enter, we have 16 units we can plug in different effects into. So what I'm going to do now is demonstrate the effects on this pedal. So for the first effect, I'm going to I'll hit enter here, and I can set up unit 1, and I'm going to do noise gate. So as you can see, this won't change the tone. It just will quiet it if there's no signal there. And then what I'll do is on the second one, I'm going to do overdrive. To make it easier to control, I'm going to go set up threshold control to go to this knob here, knob 1, and amplitude control to go to that second one, knob 2. Next, what I'm going to do is, now that we have that set up, I'm going to go to and select an effect for 3. So one thing I want to set up first is, let's say, Autowah. So what Autowah does is it's a periodically modulated bandpass filter. Alright, so now on this filter you can adjust the frequencies and the Q value, and you can also change the speed. For example, I'll change it to half the speed. Okay. And so that's, there's other things on the wah you could change to Autowah. So what I'll do is I'm now going to change the envelope. Now one of the useful things to change, depending on the level, is the sensitivity. So that is the, you can also change the frequencies it goes between. So for example, I can turn it down to this. It'll change the frequencies that it modulates between. As another example, I'd like to look at, Flanger. Okay, so now if I can, so for the flanger, for example, I can change the amount of feedback, and it'll change the depth of the effect. So for example, I change it from 128 to 228. So yeah, that'll make the effect deeper. So as another example, I want to do phaser. Okay, maybe try again with a little less distortion, overdrive there. So, one thing you can do to change the effect of the phaser, is to change the number of stages from 4 to 8. Okay, there's various other things you can change on this, like the speed and the Q, for example. So sometimes turning down the Q will give it a somewhat softer effect. Another effect that's useful is chorus. So what we can do with chorus to increase the effect is we can increase the modulation or increase the number of samples that it goes back to do the modulation. So this is a lot more. So for example, so yeah, that's a little extreme, but it gives you an idea of what the effect is. This is what the normal level would be. Alright. Okay, so for this next demonstration, I'm going to show pitch shifting and sort of automatic chords here. So what I'll do is I'm going to set up the first effect as a pitch shift. And so you'll notice that there's no effect way it is initially. So for example, what I'll do to add the effect is I can go here and I'll make the rate control this knob here, this left one. So you can see as I change this, it changes the rate. It can be tuned up or down. So what you can then do is, if you want to harmonize with that, you can change the balance. So 255 balance means you're only using the pitch shifted note, but if we change it to something smaller, it includes some of the unshifted note. So you now hear two notes rather than one played, the unshifted and the shifted one. So for example, so you can hear two almost shifted, one gives kind of a harmony effect. Or you can shift down. Okay. Now we can add a second pitch shift unit to add even more harmony. So what I'll do is I'll back out here and I'll go and I'll assign unit 2 to also be a pitch shift. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll also assign that one to the knob 2. And then what I can do is I can add some from the stage 1 by changing the balance. really neat thing I like to do is you can do octave shifting up or down, and I'll show you how to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off Unit 2 by setting it to none. And I'm going to go back to Unit 1, and I'm going to turn off that control, turn off the rate control from being controlled by this knob so it doesn't affect it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the rate to 2048, which is half the normal rate of 4096. And then I'll make sure that the balance is 255. So you'll see that now when I play high E, the octave lower comes out. So what I can do for really low notes, you have to increase the number of samples. It'll increase the delay, unfortunately, but for example, so now the low E string is 1 octave below the what it normally would be. So that's a way to get a, you can make your guitar lower in tone. Alternately, what I'll do is you can raise it an octave. So if I make this double its normal rate, 8192. So now E is 1 octave higher. So you can see now the notes are all 1 octave higher. Kind of has that weird ringing note to it. So now I'll show the delay effect. It's very basic. All right. Another effect is called room. And so what room allows you to do is it allows you to directly set the particular delays you want to have. So for example here, so there's one delay that's 2500 samples after the initial one. And so this one allows you to, so for example, if I want to add in a second delay that's 6000 samples, I choose the amplitude of that, and now I can have that. So with the room effect, with the filters, can give you some ability to perhaps model rooms or cabinets. So also to demonstrate tremolo. Okay, It's basic tremolo and vibrato. So there's also the ring modulator. So it's similar to tremolo. One thing you can do is you can turn off and make it more square wave like. That. See, I think we've covered most of these. Like Octave is a rectifying. A very metal sound to it. So one thing we can do is we can add in a multiplier, and that'll make it try to wrap, add even more harmonics in. It tries to add even more harmonics in by wrapping the tone, and not just saturating it. You'll hear if I go to the multiplier can go up and up. Sound. Anyways, that's most of the effects this guitar pedal can do. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you're interested in building one. Thank you.